Did you pay it back during the recent beef?
Did I reach out to him during this beef? No, what the Kendrick, bro.
You got to talk about that feeling when you first started becoming like the most talked about name in college sports, and like a moment when you were at a party and you felt that first like rush, like, oh, I'm him, bro. Like, I mean, for real. Like
probably right after winning the Heisman, you know, I had been the biggest Drake fan ever, and to have him like have his team like reach out and be like, yo, come to Toronto anytime you want. It was like, I'm on my fucking computer that next day. It didn't matter class or practice or nothing. Like the second I got to go do that, I was fucking gone. I'm sitting in the back of a fucking Rolls Royce smoking a joint with Drake at 18 years old. And I'm like, this is what it's about. My mom's calling me like, where are you? I'm like, I'm in a completely different country in the middle of the week, fucking gone. And then that lifestyle just kind of took over. You know, you go on tour that next year. I'm hitting every show in Texas, and then I'm just doing this with different people, going to sporting events, like living that lifestyle that, you know, that you want to live whenever you're in college. And for a while, like, you know, I go into my second year, and, you know, I look back at it now and I'm like, man, I'm so much, I look at year one highlights and then go look at year two. I'm like, even though my numbers were better, I'm supposed to be a first round pick, everything on paper like looks like it's better, and I'm better than I was the year before. I was so much slower, so much more like just delayed with everything that you watch from like a quarterback standpoint. So like it was almost like I had everyone fooled that like everything was going in the right direction. My numbers were better, threw for more touchdowns, all this shit. But if I look back at it like objectively now, I'm like, everything had just like spiraled over, and that hard work and everything that you need to do to be a top level athlete, it wasn't there.
Let me ask you something. Did you know at that time, deep down, that you were fooling people?
Fuck no. At that point in time, I think I was fooling myself. Like I was still going out on Saturday and throwing for 5 touchdowns. We were winning games. We were competitive in games. We were good. You know, for me, being a 6-foot quarterback, you know, a guy who felt was lucky to win the job the year before, I never thought in a million years I would be able to go to the NFL in 2 years. You know, I left 2 years of eligibility on the table. You know, I'd still had 2 years to be able to come back and play college football, but just with what I was doing off the field, you know, barely fucking going to class, doing all this shit, I didn't really leave myself much of an option to be able to go back and even come back for my junior year. It like wasn't really an option.
Yeah.
What was the moment for you that that you were like, I'm in deep shit? Like even prior to the NFL, like was there a moment where because dude, you had some pretty high profile like legal battles, put it like that, some pretty high profile scandals. Like was there a moment for you where you were just like, fuck, I'm like really in over my head?
You know, maybe with the NCAA stuff a little bit, like, you know, after my first year, you know, I was traveling around doing all this shit. Like it was getting really hard back then to be like, how are you sitting in $20,000 seats at a Mavericks or a Rockets game when you're in fucking college and you're not supposed to be taking any benefits or anything? But, you know, after the NCAA stuff happened and they decided to suspend me for half a game, you know, it was one of those things like, okay, I got away with it. You're not getting a lot of repercussions from a half a game suspension against the team we were going to beat by 50 points. You know, I didn't really feel like, you know, the weight of everything was like cracking down on me until after like my first year in Cleveland. And that was really like just personal, just like disappointment from being like so eager to get to this point in your life where you have a dream reach. This is the start of your career. And then it just goes the way it did. I think it really made me kind of, you know, have to figure some things out.
You might be the only person that has like a Drake song kind of like really based on them, dude. Like think about that. How does the relationship go from like Johnny Football, the brand, you link with Drake to a point where he actually is going to make a song that is about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's like that's never what I expected when I first met him or like became friends with him or anything like that. I think it's something that, you know, is kind of like immortalized me in the OVO like crew and like fans that you see all over the place. Like I'm definitely, you know, go hand in hand with Drake probably for the rest of my life. I you know, can't be like more thankful that like even through everything that's happened, I think even, you know, even during my worst like year in 2016 running around being a jackass, I'm pretty sure every single night you would see me out in LA. I have a different OVO shirt or a fucking chain or like something on. So I was definitely representing the brand in my demise a little bit, but you know, I got a chance a couple years ago on this last tour to do the whole walkout with him.
I
And
saw
he's the
that.
guy that never switched up on me, always reaches out, always have a great relationship, even though people probably around him are like, man, he stayed as loyal to me as the first day he ever really did that song. So, it's dope to be immortalized with a song like that, and something from, somebody who I think is the greatest artist of our generation is still going strong.
And it's a
Yeah,
like
it's a banger.
a banger.
It's a great song.
Like it's a proper.
I remember the
Drake
first
banger.
night, he called me in the middle of the night. It's like seeing the phone ring and like listening to him play it. I'm like, holy fuck. This is something that I'm going to, like, I got to walk out to Radio City Music Hall and get drafted to it. I'm like, this is fucking,
That's
sick.
crazy.
and that night, the night getting drafted, he's there at the draft party, like to be able to like do that with a guy who was like my fucking idol, the biggest legend to me ever, was fucking dream come true.
Did you pay it back during the recent beef? Did you reach out to him and make sure he was cool? He was good?
He's always fucking
No, but
good.
did you, Johnny?
Did I reach out to him during this beef? No, what the fuck, Kendrick, bro? What the fuck are you talking about here?
Hey guys, if you like that clip, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to see more zany clips, click the video right here.